Are they saying how Sylvanos sucks?
Something like that. something, my character sucks against this character. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we're going into Tower of Heaven for game 1 here. Which, out of the stages that you can pick from the starters, I feel like I agree with this for Sylv.
It's either this or Gates, but considering how well Force does on a lot of the starters, you probably just have to pick the one that he can get the least out of, which I guess you could argue is Tower. But you could also maybe argue Jules. I'm not too well versed in either of these characters' stage picking methodologies to really comment.
Yeah, I believe Sylv is the most common top 50 character. One of the most common, sorry. I believe he is up there in popularity. He definitely was on the last one I watched. Or the last one I was familiar with. I think there were like 7 Sylvs on that one. I'm not sure.
Right now, Zoomander's doing a much better job than with his game of Human Live of maintaining that center stage control. The kind of naturally slower pace of the game will let him do that, but he's not letting Sethix get in and use that Forsburn advantage state.
Yeah, for sure. We also see Zoomander landing a lot of these back air sweet spots. Really seems to have a better feel on where Sethix is going to be than Human Live.
Going for a nice bit of coverage there, but unfortunately Sethix does make it back to stage. Doesn't quite land the sweet spot there. And unfortunately, the seeds hit the clone.
Yeah, I believe CyberHex in the chat saying he was most common in Season 6. I think that's the one I was thinking of. I'm not sure, though. We've got Zoomander trying to go for the kill here. That down strong, but it looks like it's just going to get him off stage. Still seems to be doing really well in this situation, though.
Very evenly paced game right now, but Sethix is going to crawl his way into the lead with that forward strong.
It's just sitting in the smoke, crouching. I feel like he was expecting pedal wave there, but it does just look kind of funny.
I think Sethix has kind of made that adaptation of like finding out when exactly to punish Sylvanos. But still, Zoomander's doing a great job of making the most out of his hits when he can. There we go. We're going to see a whiff punish right there. Down air's just going to spike instead of send out. Oh, potential for a nasty kill right there. Unfortunately, Zoomander wasn't quite able to land it. And the downers are going to sneak its way in to get Sethix game 1.
Sethix loves his down airs, honestly. You've been seeing a lot of them seal him really good situations here. Going into game 2, going to be rock wall. And this is certainly a stage pick, I must say.
I mean, considering how it worked in the human set, I don't blame Zoomander for going here. Needs to be a stage he's very comfortable with. Trying to
that is true.
Zone out Force right now. Fortunately, he's going to get parried off of the Howl. Another parry right there. Can't be letting those Howls rip too early, even if they are such a great way of clearing smoke. Oh, we're going to see the Beast Dash finally connect.
We're seeing Seth pretty successfully here, dodging and weaving outside of Zoomander's threat ranges. And using clone there, very interesting.
Zoomander going for a pretty nasty string. This could lead to death. Fortunately, he doesn't have enough resources to make it count, but goes back to the stage. Continue this onslaught. Fortunately, just fell a little too far back.
Sethix's edge guards are just brutal. Like, as soon as you're off stage against this man, it feels terrible. Judging from these past 2 sets, anyway. Alright, we've got Zoomander trying to crawl back into some sort of position here. Trying to play a little more passive here.
Now Zoomander's not really finding these openings, and unfortunate. That percent differential just keeps getting larger. Sethix is also not really getting too much off of his strings, but is slowly winning the resource economy by getting that smoke on stage. We're going to see a back air. A good DI from Zoomander, and now Combust is on deck. We could see a potential confirm into it.
Zoomander gonna land that back air and finally get Sethix here down to the last stock, but it looks like he's gonna lose that stock anyways to that down strong. It's gonna be 2-0 for Sethix as we go into game 3 here. Going to Air Armada.
Pulling out all the bags of tricks for the Syl stages. Unfortunately, Forsburn is also just really good on this stage. Forsburn's just good on a lot of stages.
I mean, yeah, he's just a super well-rounded character, honestly. Like, that's one thing you can definitely count on when you pick Forsburn, is you're not going to pick a stage and be like, you know, this is the end of the world. I hate this stage. At least for the most part. I'm sure it feels pretty bad on Abyss.
We'll see the backer kill off the top there. It's unfortunate, but that move is just so brutal. We're going to see it down, and now we're going to see the off special. Now Zoomander's doing a good job of holding that center stage and using those howls to pop up Seth into the air, but we're going to see these Sethix pop from underneath the stage, and we're going to have that down strong take that first stock. Very evenly paced game right now.
We've got a string from Sethix here. I mean...
Oh, but there's that parry on the howl. Well, and Nary to back air. Oh my goodness.
Feels like Sethix just has a really good understanding of how Zoomander wants to move around now.
Yeah,
He's just catching him out a lot. And it's gonna
you imagine once
here.
you play in enough brackets, you kind of learn what people's habits are. Seth just seems to have a pretty good read on Zoomander right now, like you said.
We're gonna have to see if Zoomander can adapt here. I mean, really good air dodge there.
Packer not gonna quite do it. Oh, but just
oh,
the
the unfortunate SD there. And that's gonna give the last game to Sethix there. 3-0. going to see him move on to the next round of losers. As we move on to Heels Good versus Ori stuff here.
Sylvanos versus Eliana, unless